I don't want to choose. I can't put my neck on the line for this one because I love Backstreet Boys and I know Timberlake very well, but don't know the NSYNC boys, and they both have an equal level of hit. Hello GQ, I'm Niall Horan, and today I'm going undercover on the internet. It's actually me. Twitter. What has been your favourite part about coaching on The Voice? I think because I've been on a show like that, it made me go deeper into like trying to be a good coach. I wanted everyone to kind of leave and feel like they've actually worked with me and I haven't been just some famous dickhead with their future in my hands. But yeah, I've really enjoyed like the picking of the songs, the camaraderie between the team, and also then the banter between the four coaches has been a really good laugh. I'm going to miss the cowboy, Blake Shelton, and I'm going to miss Clarkson and Chance because they're not doing the next season with me and Blake's given up forever. Next one. Charlotte Clare and Landon Norris recently following Niall Horan back on Instagram. I'm sensing a golf match. I did not know this. I knew Lando followed me. I didn't know Charlotte Clare did too. Yes, I would love to play golf with those gentlemen. I'm a big F1 fan, a fan of both of those guys. Yes, I see a lot of F1 guys playing golf these days, trying to take my thunder. No, joking. Let's play. Next one. What do I have to do for Niall Horan to serenade me like he's serenading Blake Shelton? Tell me. I don't know. Be nice to me? Yeah, this was a really good moment in this video. Me and Blake just continuing the banter onto even when we perform. They can't put us in any scenario where we don't mess around. But yeah, come to a front row of a gig and I'll serenade you. Favorite thing about Blake, his lack of fucks. He's in a deficit of them. I'm gonna miss him big time, but I kind of get the feeling that I could be friends with him for a while, even though he's 45 years older than me. YouTube, or as YouTube, as they say here in America. Oh no. If only he knew what he would achieve since then. It's crazy, isn't it? Don't let us down. I won't. Hit differently 12 years later. Yeah, it did. Because if it wasn't for Katy Perry, I would have never have gotten through. I would have never been in the band. Anything could have happened there. Now knowing what it's like in The Voice, you know, she was seeing 40 people that day and she just said yes at the right time to me. The rest is history, as they say. Pretty cool. Anyone else still interpret Niall's hair as blonde when it's clearly brunette? That's so good. Yeah, sometimes I do. So many people say that to me, to my face, and I'm standing there with a brown head of hair. I think I was only like 12 or 13. I remember like the first time I ever did it, I walked in with a picture of David Beckham, and we can pull the photo up after this. And I was like, give me that. And like the local hairdresser did not give me that. And I cried. But yeah, I just spent every 3-4 weeks sitting in foils 4 hours at a time. I'd fall asleep in the chair. I'm not going back there, please. As much as we like blonde Niall, he was a nice guy too. We're not going there again. Thanks. Now on to Quora. Why do singers lose their accent when they sing? Niall Horan, for example. I don't know. I definitely hear my accent in some songs, for sure. But I grew up on a lot of like American rock and roll and American singer-songwriters, like from the 70s and 80s and things like that. So I think that like just naturally watching it and listening to them, that's where I probably got it from. What does Niall Horan sing about in this town? It's basically a song about my hometown. I basically made like a fake relationship act as a metaphor for my hometown, that no matter how far I go and how far I live away from home, I'll always end up, you know, thinking about my hometown and growing up there, and in the end probably return to live there at some point. Why is Niall Horan afraid of birds? Let me get this right, actually. I'm not afraid of birds. I'm afraid of birds indoors. Although I don't like pigeons at any cost. But I hate birds inside. I remember one time in the cafeteria at school, there was a bird flying around when we were all in the line for lunch, and I nearly had a panic attack and nearly collapsed. There's something weird about them. Well, it's probably because they shouldn't be inside. They're made for the sky, not cafeteria rooms in Christian Brother high schools. Who is better, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC? That's a rough question, Quora, and whoever wrote this. What I would say is, I know the Backstreet Boys a lot better than I know the NSYNC boys. But I know Timberlake particularly well. I play golf with Justin Timberlake. There's the biggest name drop of all time. Everyone's just going to think I'm an arsehole. Songs-wise, I mean, they're in my head, they're like equal hit for hit. I don't want to choose. I can't put my neck on the line for this one because I love Backstreet Boys and I know Timberlake very well, but don't know the NSYNC boys. And they both have an equal level of hit. So I'm not answering it. Full refusal. Instagram. Leanne says, is this album going to change my life forever? I hope so. That's the idea. Definitely changed my life when I was writing it. You know, now that it's out in the ether, it's yours now. So I hope it does. To you and to millions and millions and millions of people around the world, please. There's some topics in there that are definitely relatable. I think we could all do it listening to the show. It's basically a song. I wrote it in the pandemic when we were all locked away. And in the chorus I say, if everything was easy and nothing ever broke, how would we realize how good we had it all along? And the first line of the song is, life is like a board game some of the time. So it's like you're always making those little moves and to make sure you get on the right path. But we got to be grateful. Here's another one. Shows? ? Excuse me, sir. Niall? Yes. I've just announced a tour. For a guy that was so used to touring, the pandemic really stopped that. And it's crazy to think that I haven't toured since 2018. And I'm more fired up than ever to put on the best show I possibly can. I've got 3 albums now to play with. The set design that I've got planned is pretty cool. And I can't wait to take it all over the world and play to as many of you as I possibly can. So go and get your tickets. Please. Please. Wikipedia. Horan tried to play the guitar that his brother bought for his marriage, but was not able to play it. Horan, then aged 11, taught himself how to play the guitar by following YouTube tutorials. That's a lie. The first part is, my brother got a guitar for his 15th birthday, probably played it once, and then it kind of sat around for a while, and then I picked it up. And the second part is very true. Unlike dial-up internet, you know, when it was like beep, 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 beep. It'd take like an hour to even get onto YouTube and load a page. But I would sit there and just put on a video of a song I wanted to play and then like pause it when they had their fingers set in the spot. The first one I was trying to do was Wonderwall. A minor, G, D, A. And I'm still writing songs in those with those chords today, to be honest with you. We all do. Next one. In a 2013 incident, he dislocated his knee on stage during a concert in Antwerp, Belgium. Wow, this is deep. After the surgery, he was invited to do physical therapy with Chelsea by their manager, Jose Mourinho. Horan went through more than 7 weeks of physical therapy with the members of the team and their physical therapist at the training ground in Surrey. How did I know this level of information? It's all very factual, but the depth. Yes, very true. I dislocated my knee 9 times in about 2.5 years. I have a genetic thing where my kneecap doesn't sit into its groove properly, so it kind of sits up like this, so that it's able to move across. So I dislocated my knee once and it just kept slipping out because I have floating kneecap syndrome, it's called. I met Jose Mourinho at Real Madrid when he was the coach there. Myself and Louis and Liam went to watch a training session of theirs, met him there, and then when I was getting my knee done, I was like, I need somewhere to do some of my physical therapy. And Jose was like, come down to us. And then when I got there, he had it all set up, brought me into a room with all the doctors, basically explained to them that I'm one of his players and he needs me back fit. As a football fan, I can't think of anything better than that. I was nearly happy I had a pain in my knee because I got to spend 7 or 8 weeks with the best football players in the world. When I was off crutches and running, I used to get in they have these little squares and they pass it in squares and there's a guy in the middle and they're trying to keep it off him. And I got in one day and I never got out. It was very scary. Reddit. Any tea on Niall Horan? Never heard of him in gossip pages. I'd like to know more. I don't know if there is any tea. I try and live a simple life when I'm not working. Kind of half keep them disconnected a little bit. I'm always playing golf and like drinking pints and things like that. And when I work. I don't really like have tea on me. My boy Niall Horan, get him what he deserves. This is so beautiful to see. Do you think he had any fears in going solo? Did I have any fears? Of course, the fear of it going wrong and not having a career is there forever. That's one you can't get rid of. Try not to think about that too much because that would fry my brain. However, I just had to trust that I could write a song, which I kind of feel like I can do, trust in being myself when I go to do it, and hope that the core fan base will turn up the gigs and then try and grow it from there. But no, apart from the fact that you're constantly just thinking the whole way through your career when or how this is going to end. Apart from that, no, not really. Okay, that's it. I'm signing off the internet. Thank you, GQ.